Winston-Salem.
See the seal of the North American Wrestling Association. You are assured of the finest in professional wrestling. Hello, everyone. Ted Webb along with Gene Ligon. And, Gene, we have an exciting card planned for the folks tonight. We're going to see Vince Torrelli and Dean Malenko teamed up in action.
Excellent wrestling team. Both of them very quick and very agile.
Matt Borne with Bob Orton at ringside. We're going to be seeing an explosive combination there.
Two of the most excellent professional wrestlers I've ever seen. They've got the amateur background. They've got everything together.
The American Bulldogs, certainly one of the top candidates for that North American Wrestling Association tag team title. We'll be seeing them and a host of others in action. I mean, it's going to be a great evening of wrestling. I can't wait.
I can't wait either. Let's get to it.
Let's not wait any longer. Let's turn it over to our ring announcer, Fabian Fuentes.
This next action is Australian tag team action. In the ring at this time, weighing 228 pounds from Pittsburgh, here's Trent Knight. His partner, weighing 245 pounds from Jackson, Mississippi, Alan Kinsey. Their opponents now making their way to the ring, weighing 230 pounds from Tampa, Florida, Dean Malenko. His partner, weighing 235 pounds from San Diego, California, Vince Torrelli.
Dean Malenko, accompanied to the ring by their manager, Paul Jones. And this is the combination, Gene, I have been anxious to see together. These are two explosive youngsters with impressive amateur backgrounds that can go. And into the ring right now in the blue trunks, Trent Knight against Dean Malenko. Collar and elbow and into the ring. Referee Byron Richard calling for the break. And Malenko not taking any chances. You saw him cover up, Coach.
Dean's always ready. It looks like it's ready to go right now against this young man, Trent Knight.
No doubt about it. Malenko, who was trained by the legendary Carl Gotch and is an offshoot of the Malenko wrestling family. His father, the legend, Boris Malenko. And he is no stranger to folks in the Mid-Atlantic region. I'll tell you what, this guy wreaked havoc around here 10, 15, 20 years ago.
I remember watching Boris myself years and years ago when his son was a tremendous amateur player like his dad had.
No doubt about it. Watch this maneuver. Malenko with a reversal. Whoa. You are going to see a lot of stuff like this from Dean Malenko. Truly an outstanding competitor. A guy that he can go downtown with you, babe. Whatever you want to do, Malenko is up for it. You can go out there and wrestle. You can go out there and go fisticuffs. Whatever you choose, whatever poison you choose, Malenko is ready to go. And we can't say enough about his partner, Vince Torrelli. We can't. Wow, Trent Knight taking a shortcut there, grabbing a little bit of the hair, grabbing it again. And Malenko says, okay, let's try that. Wait a minute. Byron Richards says, Malenko, don't do it. And immediately Trent Knight taking advantage of the pause and planting a boot. Notice how cool and calm Malenko is, Gene.
Malenko knows how to apply all the holds properly. His dad's taught him well.
He certainly has. Did you see that maneuver right there? Great arm drag takedown. Dean Malenko, the youngest of the Malenko wrestling brothers. Tag is made now with Vince Torrelli. I don't think that Trent Knight is aware of the fact that Torrelli is into the ring. He does know now. He rolls him up. And it was a count of two, a near pin, and immediately getting back on his man.
Well, Vince Torrelli took no time to waste there. He got right on it right away, and that's what wrestling's all about. Don't give him too much time.
He's an aggressive competitor, Gene. We've seen him week after week after week, and we're impressed.
Got a reverse double arm bar there.
And a nice bridge. Torrelli's a good-looking kid, a fan favorite around here. Women lining up for autographs every time he comes out.
It's kind of disgusting, isn't it?
It is disgusting. It's unfair that anybody should look that good.
No,
you know, Gene, I remember not long ago I used to look like that before age caught up to me.
How long ago was that, Ted?
About 40-some years ago. A applying the pressure on that arm. You know, we've seen Torrelli in action against Trent Knight a bunch, and I can't help recall but one night when he got him in a belly-to-belly suplex, and I still replay that in my mind over and over and over and over again, because it has been quite a few years since I've seen a belly-to-belly applied as nicely as he applied it.
He caught it just right. Good and high.
Perfect.
Front face locked there by Vince Torrelli on Trent Knight. Trying to turn him.
Great muscular conformation on Torrelli. Here's a guy that doesn't consider working out a chore. He loves going to the gym. It's playtime for him.
Well, that's part of your business here. This is what wrestling's all about. If you don't have the strength and the ability, you're going to get beat every night.
Yeah, Carpenter has hammers and nails and stuff. A wrestler has his body. Whoa! Thrust to the throat. He caught Torrelli coming, and now he's working on that throat again, applying the choke.
Taking the shortcut. Trent Knight trying to choke the wind right out of him.
This guy's from the Steel City of Pittsburgh, and they play rough down there.
They sure do.
Paul Jones discovered Torrelli. Nice drop kick by Trent Knight. Paul Jones. Yeah.
Trent Knight showing all the moves to make him a tremendous wrestler, but he always goes through shortcuts.
Yep, and that's a shame. We were talking about Paul Jones discovering Torrelli. Paul Jones has got a great eye for talent. And the first thing Paul Jones did was bring Dean Malenko into town and say, I want to team him up with Torrelli. He says, I think I've got a combination here. He's got so many combinations. Bo Reagan's in the stable. So many people he could choose up to team up with Torrelli.
Well, he remembers going against Boris Malenko himself years and years ago. And if he had this young kid has anything of his father in him, a tremendous team we've got here.
That he does, my friend. Oh! Did you see that drop kick?
High in the air. There's a good 6.5 feet in the air to catch that man.
Square in the kisser. Watch this maneuver. Great suplex. Malenko going over to cover him. Count of 2, and he didn't hook the leg, Gene. Carl Gotch would have flinched on that one.
His dad's probably flinching right now.
No doubt about it. I tell you what, he's roughing him up, though. He is definitely roughing him up. Alan Kinsey is getting all that he wants. Kinsey trying to fire to the midsection, but this kid's hard as a rock down there.
I see so much of his father in him.
No doubt. He looks like the old man. And God forbid that this guy. Did you see that? Did you see that? Boom!
He turned a negative into a positive.
Yes, he did. I tell you, Kinsey right now scratching his head saying, what do I got to do to get a pin on this guy? And now he's got to deal with Torrelli. Beautiful. Hooks the leg. And Kinsey grabbing that rope, and I'll tell you, that's the only thing that kept that from going to count of 3.
We were about to end it right away, that 3 count, but that foot got on the rope.
Oh, yeah. He didn't realize that he had made the touch. Great belly-to-belly and a bridge.
Excellent.
And as I had promised you, electricity in the air as Vince Torrelli and Dean Malenko victorious over Trent Knight and Alan Kinsey. And, Coach, we have got to take a look at that one more time again. Describe it.
Well, there they go. He picks him up, gets him in position, goes for the front salto, reverses in the air, bridges tight. 1, 2, 3 count. Tremendous wrestling.
Boy, that makes Byron Richards' job a whole lot easier. Stick around. We've got a lot more coming on the North American Wrestling Association. The man they call the Maniac. Matt Borne coming up next in action.
To my left, weighing 230 pounds from Washington, D.C., here is Lynn Wagner. His opponent, weighing 260 pounds from Dallas, Maniac Matt Borne. He is escorted by Cowboy Bob Orton at ringside.
Matt Borne returning to the Mid-Atlantic states. And I tell you what, he made his presence known here rather quick. Did you see who he teamed up with?
Oh, I can see right away, Cowboy Bob Orton. That's 2. I don't know if we want to have them on the same team or not.
Well, I tell you what, Gene, they say water finds its own level, right? And it didn't take long for Matt Borne to know who he wanted his partner to be. And with Baron Samedi wrestling in Japan right now, Bob Orton is looking for somebody to team up with for that North American Tag Team Association title.
Team up with the right man, you can do anything. It doesn't matter exactly who, but sometimes you want to make sure they blend together.
Lynn Wagner, a good competitor out of Washington, D.C. We've seen him in action several times, but I think he's got his hands full right now with the Maniac, and then not to mention Cowboy Bob Orton outside the ring. Wagner firing away, and Maniac says, give it to me. And then he fires away and hits it. He says, I could trade punches with the best of them. There's that chop. Orton clapping. He says, I like it. I like it. Like Orton would say, punish him, punish him.
What a voice.
What a voice. Applying pressure. A nice reversal by Wagner. Maniac reverses it.
Drop toe hold right there. Got a nice arm bar on him right now. Hammerlock.
See, this is the humiliation factor right here. There's no need to do that.
Totally unnecessary, but it does send a message.
Well, it certainly sends a message, and of course it would tend to make Wagner lose his cool. When you lose your cool, you lose everything else. This Maniac is a smart man. He knows what he's doing in there. He knows why he's doing it.
He's one of the best wrestlers I've seen in the professional ranks. A lot of people around here I probably haven't seen him very often. He's been in the Texas area, all over the world. This man can handle anybody.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. He's not scared to get in there with anybody, and frankly, I probably wouldn't either if I had Bob Borton in my say. Applying pressure right now. Wagner.
Got the top wrist lock.
Yes, he does.
Nice and tight.
Wagner checking out that jaw, thinking, should I grab the beard? No, I don't want to make him any more mad than he is right now. That full force came down on the wrist and elbow.
You can sprain your wrist just like that. It's most uncomfortable laying there on the mat and then have a hold applied to you like that. There's not much you can do.
No, you find yourself very, very vulnerable at that point. You are at the mercy of your opponent, and Lord, I wouldn't want to be at the mercy of Maniac Matt Borne.
Well, he's picking him up by the hair. That's unnecessary, but there he is. He sets him up.
Getting him up for a suplex. Double chicken wing suplex.
That's right. Double chicken wing. Picked him right up. You learned.
Gene Ligon and Ted Webb in the best of the North American Wrestling Association. We would like to say hi to Dr. Bill Beam, the NAWA dentist in Charlotte, North Carolina. Dr. Beam, we thank you for joining in this afternoon, as well as thousands of fans in Charlotte on WBT Channel 3.
If he was here tonight, he'd be pulling teeth himself.
He certainly would. Tell you what, with some of the chops we've seen out there, he might be pulling a couple or what's left of them.
That's right.
These guys do take punishment. They're on the road constantly, and I tell you, they have to learn how to wrestle hurt. You know?
One thing about wrestling, professional wrestling, is you don't get a break.
No, sir. Wow.
Amateur wrestling, you may have a match on Monday, a match on Thursday. You got practice during the week. These guys may wrestle in the afternoon, then that night, the very next night.
And then travel 300, 400, 500 miles by car or take a plane across the country to wrestle again.
And then you got what's called jet lag. You're waking up while they're going to sleep.
No doubt about it. You have to learn how to travel, sleep little, and at the same time manage to get your workouts in.
That's right, Ed. That's the hardest part. I was on the road quite a bit, and we'd be flying one where you land at 12 o'clock, got a match that night at 6 or 7. You got to find a motel, which you might have a 2-hour drive to get to it. Then you got to get a workout in.
Find a gym in that town and go out there and get your workout in. And those guys that don't make that sacrifice are the guys that don't get too far in this business.
They don't last very long at all. They'll be in a couple years, and that's about it.
Well, there's the influence of Bob Orton Jr. on the side of the ring, occupying the referee for this bout, Sal Correnti.
Sal Correnti, a very professional referee, very efficient in what he does. Doesn't take much guff.
No, sir, he doesn't. Sal recently refereed the 100th championship match, his 100th career championship match, milestone in his career. Very good referee, and there's the taunting. Get up, chants the Maniac. Wagner saying, I would if I could. Believe me, it's no fun down here on the canvas. Wagner punching away, but those punches are lacking authority right now, Gene.
Matt Borne just flailing away at him, trying to get him off balance. Probably hit him in the ear if he can to get him off balance.
Nice reversal by Wagner. Borne into the ropes, trying to get him up into that backdrop, but he didn't. Borne turns around and plants that big 14 in his face.
I think Lynn saw that coming, tried to avoid it, but a little bit of it got him, I believe.
Boom! Look at this bridge. Suplex bridge, 2, 3, and it's all over. Sal Correnti calling for the bell. The winner of this match, none other than Maniac Matt Borne. The Maniac. Let us take a look at that again on our slow motion instant replay. And Coach, I want you to describe the action as we see it.
Well, Matt Borne just applied the big boot up Lynn Wagner's head. There he's going for the reverse suplex. He's back, he bridges, gets the arm down, 1, 2, 3. We got the count.
No doubt about it. This match belongs to the Maniac, Matt Borne. Stick around. We've got more action coming up on the North American Wrestling Association.
130 pounds from Columbus, Georgia, Tom Atlas. His partner, weighing 225 pounds from Kodiak Bay, Alaska, J.T. Thomas. Their opponents now making their way to the ring with a combined weight of 550 pounds. Here are the American Bulldogs.
Certainly Association Tag Team straps.
That's right. These two young men have got the power and the strength that you could want to be a professional wrestler. And they look like the same guys. They're twins almost.
I mean, carved out of the same rock, you could say. I mean, and awesome, strong. They are as strong as you can imagine, pound for pound. You know, I know that Paul Jones said Dean Malenko's the strongest guy, perhaps pound for pound, and maybe so. These guys are right up there in that caliber, though.
They weigh a little bit more, so the strength's probably going to be a little more, but his quickness is more. I like the quickness.
Tom Atlas in the ring right now against Spike. Byron Richard, the referee, calls for the break, and we get a clean break. You have some folks that have written some letters to us, saying that they're watching us on TV up in North and South Carolina and also in the Virginia area.
Up in the Shelby area, of course, Danny Davis and his lovely wife Joe and her son Bradley. And of course, two gentlemen I know real well, Herbert Halverson and Harvey McSwain. And then of course there's Roger Harris and his lovely daughter Gwen.
I'd like to thank them all for taking time out to say hi to us and for watching us on their local TV stations. Don't forget, my friends, the city of Winston-Salem has been awarded the North American Wrestling Association Championship Tournament.
All right.
Be on the lookout for that, because that is guaranteed to be a sellout. Get your tickets early. Atlas, a pretty good competitor. And right now occupying the referee while Mr. Thomas decides to help him out a little bit.
That's definitely a maneuver that's not under rules, but a very effective maneuver, that.
Tell you right now, Byron Richard does not sit for that and is not slow, by the way, to disqualify. That's one of the things that they said about Byron Richard in the past, is he does not tolerate.
And that was a very intelligent move by that young man. He shot him right into his...
Beautiful maneuver! And Thomas is stunned. Spike of the American Bulldogs with a tremendous maneuver makes the tag with Rex. Rex into the ring. Watch this fluid teamwork. Boom. Uh-oh. Something went wrong. No, he's got the leg diamond from the top rope to the back of the neck with his knee.
And what happened? He shot into the ropes and got his neck underneath the rope and got caught.
Man, I'll tell you, that's a nice way to lose your neck. That is a nice way to lose your neck. Little leapfrog, drop kick, square to the chin and chest. These guys can work. I'll tell you what, they are something else. They are fluid, tagging in, tagging out, staying fresh. Boom.
Excellent tag team.
You know, we had the opportunity to talk to the Nasty Boys about the American Bulldogs, and this is what Knobs and Sags had to say about them.
American Bulldogs, wake up, because Judgment Day's almost here, and then you're gonna feel the wrath of the Nasty Boys. What about it?
We'll see who's ready to toss and tumble when it comes down to it in the squared circle, bozos.
Well, sticks and stones may break their bones, but words will never hurt them, Gene.
I would hope not.
Ted Webb and Gene Lakin, you're watching the best in professional wrestling, the North American Wrestling Association. Thomas double teamed by the American Bulldogs. Spike and Rex. Rex in the ring right now.
As you can see, Thomas got a laceration on the eyebrow, the right side of his face. Those ropes will tear you up.
I do not know what he hit his head on, but obviously he did.
When he got his head caught right underneath the ropes there, Ted, it kind of popped him open. It'll do it every time.
Well, I'll tell you what. And they're going to work in that area right now.
That may sound rather animalistic, barbarian.
But realistic.
That's right.
That's the bottom line here. And
you got to feed your family.
Got to have the heart of a lion when you go into that ring. Spike into the ring right now, firing away.
That's a good old right punch.
Yeah, that's what they call that good old American roundhouse. A little more double teaming, double slam to the stomach. And J.P. Thomas right now is stunned. Not to mention the fact that, you know, when you get stunned like that, you go into a semi-shock. Got him up for, boom!
He just got electrocuted.
He just got electrocuted there, baby. That was the executioner. Watch this. Watch this. From the top rope, boom! Here comes the referee, Byron Richard, for the count. 1, 2, 3. This one belongs to the American Bulldogs. The American Bulldogs Bulldogs with a sensational victory over Tom Atlas and J.P. Thomas. And Atlas is hurt. They're checking him out right now. He's lost quite a bit of blood. Gene, describe the action.
High atop the rope, the American Bulldog dives high, adjusts, elbow across the neck. And there's a 1, 2, 3. Hook the leg. Good man.
This match belongs to the Bulldogs. Don't go away because we got a lot more action coming up on the North American Wrestling Association.
From Macon, Georgia, Rick Wilson. His opponent, weighing 250 pounds from Tennessee, here is the Tennessee stud, Robert Fuller.
Well, I can tell you right now that I, for one, all right, maybe a little intimidated standing between the Maniac and Bob Orton Jr., but certainly not envious of them or wanting to be anything like these guys.
I would hope not, Ted, but I can understand being intimidated by those two guys.
Rick Wilson taking on the self-proclaimed Tennessee stud, the man who would like nothing more than to be into the ring with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. We're talking, of course, about Robert Fuller. Robert Fuller, who specifically came into the territory when he heard of the tournament, the North American Wrestling Association Heavyweight Championship Tournament, which is coming to Winston-Salem. Both men collar and elbow, testing each other for leverage and balance. Into the ropes, the referee Ron Hanna calling for the break. And Fuller, did I see right? Or, I mean, Fuller broke?
Something's wrong.
Something's wrong here. What's wrong with this picture? Nice arm drag takedown. Fuller, who comes from a good wrestling family, the Fuller family, Buddy Fuller, Ron Fuller.
Yes.
Guy that's been wrestling since the cradle.
Well, he's got the ability as far as the ability to wrestle.
No doubt about it.
But his attitude.
I have a problem with that kind of an attitude of win at all cost, and not just win at all cost, Jim, because I think everybody wants to win. You know, I think winning is not the most important thing. Wanting to is, you know. But when you get a guy in here whose specific purpose is to punish someone, that bothers me. We had a chance to talk to Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and ask him for his comments about the insults that have been flung his way from Robert Fuller.
Robert Fuller, you come over the mountains from Tennessee. Sounds like you should have been wearing your hiking boots. But this time when you and I meet, you better be having your wrestling boots on. You're telling everybody that you love to take me down and you love to hurt people. And I'll be ready, and I'll be willing, and I'll be able to be in that square circle with you, Fuller.
Well, that's certainly a determined, I might add, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. And if you saw Ricky the Dragon Steamboat in action last week, I think you saw a mean streak in Ricky that we hadn't seen in a long, long time, Gene.
A side that you don't see very often.
No doubt.
Ricky, an excellent man, a very good gentleman. And of course, this man right here, Robert Fuller, will bring the worst out of anybody.
Well, he certainly has done that to Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. He has certainly irritated him enough. And I've known Ricky for a while, and I know that Ricky keeps his cool. But I saw Ricky lose his temper. And, well, the guy actually came on and interfered in an interview I was conducting with Ricky at the beginning of the show.
Well, I've never understood why anybody wants to intimidate another man by, making him mad. Alabama's coach, Bear Bryant, would always talk about his ball team like, oh, they're just about on their last leg.
Yep. He'd always praise his opponent.
Praise his opponent.
Rick Wilson has his hand full right now with Robert Fuller.
Good-looking young man, Rick Wilson.
Pretty good competitor.
Yes. Going for a reverse top wrist lock right there.
Look at, and there's the shortcut again.
I know he pulled his head.
I saw it. Ron Hanna didn't have the vantage point to catch that, but I'll be honest with you, everybody in this house here tonight saw him pull
He
his
sure didn't reach behind there just to pat him in the back of the head. He pulled his hair. You couldn't see it plainly, but a referee has got to go by what he exactly sees.
We have just received word from the dressing room that J.P. Thomas is going to require 8 stitches as a result of the injury sustained in the match against the American Bulldogs.
You just never know, Ted. Any day, any dime, something might happen.
Well, I'll tell you what. That's a pretty good gash, 8 stitches. There again, Fuller. Fuller taking the shortcut, and the referee this time calls for the break.
He pulled a hair again.
And, of course, he relinquished the break and immediately on top of the guy. There's that aggressiveness that you talk about all the time, Gene.
But that frustrates your opponent. You pulled his hair. He's mad about that. Now the referee says, make the break. You're breaking you right back on top of him again.
No doubt about it.
What are you going to do?
Well, you just have to be a little sharper than that when you're taking on a guy like Robert Fuller.
Good sit out. A reverse hammerlock. Tighten down on that thing.
Rick Wilson looks like he's got a great future in professional wrestling, Gene.
He's using his head right now. Just don't get a little too anxious.
Ted Webb and Gene Ligon, you're watching the best in professional wrestling, the North American Wrestling Association. I'd like to say hi to our friends in North and South Carolina and Virginia that are watching the telecast today.
Some young men up in Shelby also, Neil Condrey, a young lady named Debbie and Wendy, and the guy named Spanky, of course, all doing a very good job up in the Shelby area.
A lot of people writing us letters and saying, when are you coming into our town? Be patient. We'll be there soon.
Be
on the lookout.
Coming real soon.
You got it. Collar and elbow again into the ropes. Fuller firing away this time. Firing away. And Rick Wilson right now is in trouble. Ron Hanna didn't want to get too close to that. He's saying, hey, cut it out. But he didn't want to get in between those guys. He's smarter than you and I. Nice snap mirror.
Legal forearm blows, but against the ropes, you got a 5 count to break.
You got to. That's one problem I would have about getting into the ring right now with long hair. Great suplex. That is one problem I would have. That tells me that you give the other guy the advantage, a little more something to hold on to, you know?
I don't give him any more advantage than I have to.
No,
believe
sir.
me, I need all the advantages I can get.
Uh-oh. Fuller going into that Fuller leg lock. He's got it. He has got it. This is a painful hole, and it could be over. It is. It is all over. The Fuller leg lock is the demise of Rick Wilson. And once again, as every time we've seen him apply it, he has refused to relinquish the hole. And that's a dangerous hole, Coach. We're talking about a hole that could result in permanent damage to some people. The winner of this match, let's look at it on instant replay. Describe the action.
Duck under, go behind, figure 4 is the leg, reaches down, grabs the ankle, forward roll, pulls up, pulls on it. The knee is now being hyperextended. And there's the bell. 1, 2, 3, the submission.
This one belongs to the Tennessee starter, Robert Fuller. Don't go away. Coming up next, War Eagle Chris Chavis and Mike Somani.
To my left, weighing 224 pounds from Spartanburg, South Carolina, Mark Somani. To my right, weighing 260 pounds from Pembroke, here is Chris War Eagle Chavis.
What a build he's got on him. And I tell you, we were talking to him earlier before the program, and he's trimmed away about 10 pounds. He was up to 270. He's trimmed down, but he looks more ripped right now.
Guess he's trying to get a little more quickness into his moves.
And that he's done. Somani right now applying a side headlock. Into the ropes. Nice. But I wouldn't recommend that too often. He's given away a tremendous amount of weight, and there's a great hip lock takedown, and Somani landed wrong on that one. And now trying to accuse, telling Sal Correnti, the referee, that War Eagle Chris Chavis actually grabbed onto the trunks.
Well, you know that's a bunch of bull.
No, we know Chris Chavis better than that, my friend. A Native American.
Man about tossed him halfway across the ring. He didn't need to do his tights.
No doubt about it. Be on the lookout. It's coming your way, Winston-Salem. The North American Wrestling Association Heavyweight Championship Tournament. And it's going to be a dandy. Trying the hip lock, reversal. Nice hip lock takedown again by War Eagle. And War Eagle with an arm drag and applying the pressure, immediately tying him up after the arm drag.
You'll notice, Ted, he keeps working on the left shoulder.
Learning good, learning quickly.
Learning very quickly.
And that's the thing you do. You attack one part of the body, hurt it, and keep working on it. Weaken him up. Somani right now, realizing he's got his hands full, scraping those eyes along the ropes. And, Gene, you can look at those ropes right there. That's something you could tear your retina on in a heartbeat.
Sure is. It's nothing but metal with a piece of plastic wrapped around.
That's about the size of it. That is about the size of it. Somani, you better be careful. You might get this guy doing his little war dance. And if you do, it could be a short night for you. Nice elbow by Somani. Somani failing to hook the leg, however, and look at that power.
Well, there's where the bench press power comes in.
Boy, he powered out and had Somani rolling. Somani flew about 4 feet, didn't he, Gene?
Sure did. First man bench press is close to 450.
Yeah, at least.
Somani only weighs a little over 200 pounds.
That's 2 Somanis he bench presses.
That's right. Winston-Salem, can't wait. Near my home in Salisbury, North Carolina. I want to say hello to my mom and dad up there, Brad and Jamel Ligon.
They're watching this evening. Somani's cagey, though. You know, you look at him right now and you say, geez, you know, he's giving up a lot of weight, giving up a lot of power, but he's a cagey veteran.
Well, that's where the experience comes in. He sees this, if he's a young kid himself getting in there against this young man, he sees this big power run. What are you going to do? You've got to think of some other ways.
Yeah. Got to take the shortcut because you're not going to power over him. War Eagle's a strong guy. And a lot of determination, man. I'll tell you what, this guy right now has his eyes set. on that championship belt. And he realizes that to get there, he might have to go up against some of his friends.
That's
but
right.
He says that's what professional wrestling is all about. Not everybody that you wrestle every night is an enemy.
No friends in the ring.
That's right. But outside of the ring,
that's right. I've had to wrestle against friends of mine, but when you're in the ring, you don't necessarily treat them like an enemy, but you don't treat them like a friend.
How do you separate that, Gene Ligon? I mean, I've always tried to imagine being in that ring against somebody. Like, for example, yourself. If I was in there against you, I just, you know, I like you too much to hurt you, you know?
Well, I try to wrestle you right at first, but if it got down to it, the money comes down to it. I got to make my payments on my car.
That's it.
And I'm not going to do anything to injure you.
No.
I'll try not to.
Right. Even though injury is part of the game. I mean, we see guys, we hear about a lot of the guys that are undergoing arthroscopic surgery all the time, shoulders being busted out, the bursal sacs being bursted.
That's right. I've had 3 knee surgeries myself, and all 3 of them came from a freak-type accident. And the shoulder surgery, Black Bart, of course, did that to me and tore my pecs out.
Now there's Somani again going for the hair. I'll tell you what, Somani had better start hooking those legs if he wants to get a pinfall against Chris Chavis.
He's eliminating any chances he's got by not hooking those legs.
No doubt about it. You got to hook this guy up, tie him up, because he's too strong for you to just lay on top of him and try to get a pin count.
Well, Mike's used to wrestling in the lighter heavyweight division. And here he is wrestling against a man that's much bigger than he is. He's got to start doing the small things. Little things don't mean a lot. They mean everything, Ted.
You got it. You know, we were talking a little earlier about Dr. Bill Beam, the NAWA dentist in Charlotte, and Somani must have heard us because he was trying to do a little dental work there on Chavis a few seconds ago. Trying to rip his face, give him a bigger smile. And I'm telling you, he's playing with fire right now. Into the ropes, referee Sal Corrente calling for the break. Uh-oh. Chavis walked into that one. I think Chavis is a little stunned right now, to be honest with you.
He doesn't look himself.
No, he doesn't. He is not as mobile as he has been in other matches that we've seen him in.
Of course, dropping the 10 or 15 pounds he's dropped, he's lost a lot of his energy.
A little stamina gone from that, right?
A little stamina gone. Used to that carrying that extra weight, but when you drop that extra weight, sometimes you lose stamina.
Well, I'll tell you what, it looks like he's getting that second win right now, planting those knees to the midsection. I expect to see the war dance any second now. I'll be honest with you. Somani doesn't quit. You got to hand it to Somani, though.
Somani must have a tremendous cardiovascular conditioning because the muscular condition is just not there, but the cardiovascular is a part of this game also.
A lot of tendon strength, too.
That's right.
Well, he looks like he packs a pretty good wallop right now.
Well, his car payments must be due.
Nice reversal. Nice backdrop. And he landed square on his bottom right there from about 4.5, 5 feet in the air.
Another little thing about the choo-choo that tried and tried and tried.
Yeah.
That's what Mike Somani looks like to me. He's still choo-choo trying to go up that long, tall hill.
He looks like an airplane propeller right now. Look at him way up in the air. And boom!
Like a sack of potatoes.
Well, I'll tell you what, I don't know if he was a stevedore in a previous life, but there's that little dance, that War Eagle dance. Bam! Shot to the top of the head. War Eagle going into his famous dance. And usually when he does this, Gene, it'll be over in just seconds. Into the ropes. Nice chop, one that we heard all the way out here in the booth. Somani right now is stunned. War Eagle going and applying the pressure. See, now, right now, I would try to put him away, and I guess he will. He's got him into that super boom. What would you call that, man? Reverse slam?
I'd call a fall down on your back and all the wind blows out.
And there it is. The count of 3, the winner of this match, the promising young superstar from the NAWA, Chris War Eagle Chavis. And it's time now for our Curtis Mathis slow motion instant replay. Doctor, if you will do the honors and describe the action as you see it.
Well, Chris goes into what we call a fireman's carry, picks him up, sets him just right, jumps in the air, falls all of his weight onto the chest, caving in all the wind the man might possibly have. Hooks the leg like a good wrestler should. 1, 2, 3, the count's there.
And this one belongs to War Eagle. Don't go away, because coming up next, Colt Steele and Randy Colley in action in an Australian tag team match.
Team action. To my left, weighing 230 pounds from Albany, Georgia, Clarence Sowell. His partner, weighing 250 pounds from Raleigh, North Carolina, Bob Emery. Their opponents, weighing 260 pounds from Venice Beach, California, Colt Steele. His partner, weighing 300 pounds from Alex City, Alabama,
just occurred to me that when we get together next week at this time, we would have crowned a brand new North American heavyweight wrestling champion.
That's right. I can't wait to see the match.
Well, it's going to be a killer, and we'll have it coming your way next week. You will know who the champ is next week. In fact, we'll have the champ here, interview him, show you the belt, and I'm sure that then the series of challenges will begin. Colt Steele into the ring right now against the good-looking guy, Bob Emery. We saw him wrestle before, and this guy can go.
I'll tell you one thing, Bob Emery, an excellent condition young man. I've known him for several years, helped train him a little bit. He's got the ability and strength. Laid off for a couple months, but he's back into wrestling again.
No doubt about that.
Of course, Colt Steele says he's from Venice Beach, but we know that's a junk heap outside Sanford, North Carolina.
Well, I'll tell you what, there's a lot of disappointed people in the Mid-Atlantic states because he has not only abandoned his home state and his home city, but he is now criticizing them and trying to pick up that California lingo like gnarly and awesome, and that's just not Colt Steele.
And gnarly is a two-syllable word, and I do believe he says it's about 6 syllables long.
Into the ring right now, Clarence Sowell. Sowell is a well-built man. A lot of strength.
Powerful. Looks like a lineman.
I'll tell you what, though, when you want to match power with Colt Steele, you better eat your Wheaties, because this guy was the North Carolina powerlifting champion back in 1986, and today is listed as one of the top powerlifters in America.
Squats in the hundreds of pounds.
No doubt about it. He could carry you and me on his shoulders and do several squats. If I keep eating like I'm eating, you may not be able to do that.
You might set a record for him.
Might set the record.
Randy Culley, a very powerful man himself. There's a tag in Bob Emery. Bob firing away, I hope. No, goes for a side headlock.
You're going to have to be a little more aggressive than that, Bob. See what I mean? Slamming him into the ropes and waiting for him there with a nice knee was none other than Colt Steele.
Well, Colt Steele, they are wrestling ready. Bob's been out of the business for a few months, and he's a little off, just a little bit.
Well, Randy Culley just returning from a successful tour of Europe. And, boy, I'll tell you what, he picked up a couple of tricks out there. We've seen this before. We have seen this fluid teamwork before. The tag is made into the ring right now.
Little things like that, always using your partners' parts of their body to help you apply a hold or injure someone. Little things.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. You know, we get on Colt Steele from time to time because of being a turncoat, but I tell you what, this is a tough competitor, Gene.
Oh, I don't want to take anything from him.
No, I can't.
Those forearms hurt.
Yes, they do.
Of course, knees do too.
It all hurts, Coach. Clarence Sowell into the ring right now. Into the turnbuckle, and he ran right into a Bigfoot. Look at the smile. Look at the smile.
A size 12 put up against a size 6 head.
It was almost like patting himself on the back saying, see what I did, Mom? Backbreaker. Colt Steele enjoys hurting people. I mean, I tell you what, if you ever look at his eyes, Gene, when he's in the ring, reminiscent of the eyes of Charles Manson.
I have tagged against him before. When he hurts somebody, you can see chill bumps come up and down his arms.
Randy Culley right now applying the pressure.
Look at that face of Randy Culley. That's a face only a mother could love.
And she could be jiving. This is a variation of the sickle, is it not?
Sure is. He's got a front face lock.
Sickle.
Very good. He's submitted. He's submitted.
This is it. This is all over.
Don't break the man's neck.
Clarence Sowell right now has submitted, and we used to see the old Sheik use that years ago.
Yes.
The camel clutch. The winners of this match, Colt Steele and Randy Culley. And, Coach, we're going to take a look at this one again on our instant replay slow motion camera, and you can see the outstanding maneuver right here. Describe the action.
Got a reverse chin lock on him right there, a camel clutch as we call it in professional wrestling, very tightly. Pulling that neck all the way back. And there's the submission called for. That's right. The referee breaks it. 1, 2, 3.
Well, I tell you what, we are here right now with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. We have with us Chris Chavis, War Eagle, of course, Derrick Duke Starf. I'll tell you what, you guys, something just dawned on me. Next week, when we sit here and talk, we would have crowned a North American Wrestling Association heavyweight champion. Do you realize that?
You know something, Ted? Within a week, we're going to have a big event with this new company, and it just makes me feel real good to be associated with a good group of guys. I'm sure the boys that are standing on the other side of the fence are probably watching in their monitors right now, and a lot of oohs and ahs and boos. But what it comes down to is everybody within this business, they strive to become a champion, to have that championship belt. football players wear that Super Bowl ring, you know? And in every line of sport, from the Olympics all the way down to the pros, if you're involved with athletics for your whole life, you strive for one thing in mind, and that is to be the best within the profession that you're in. And next week, one of us are going to be up here with that North American heavyweight champion.
Well, I certainly want to wish the best of luck to all of you. I know that you would love to wear it. You'd love to wear it, Derrick. Your feelings?
Well, thanks a lot, Ted. I would definitely love to wear it, but with great champions like Ricky Steamboat around, of course, he's the #1 seeded guy. So he's going to be the guy to beat, and he's always been on top, always been a champion and a great champion. But I'm going to work hard. I'm in great shape. I'm ready. Anyone else, any of the guys, Nasty Blowers, Bob Orton, any of those guys want to go, I'm ready. And I definitely would love to have that belt around my waist.
Starfire, are you ready?
You know, I tell you, Ricky Steamboat's a great name in professional wrestling. I'm kind of proud to be standing up here with him, and I think my goal is just what he did in professional wrestling. Went all over and took care of business. So that's what I'm coming down here for. Come down here and take care of business and make a name for myself like Ricky did.
Well, let's tell you what, you guys all took care of business tonight. I want to congratulate you all on a tremendous showing. It's always a pleasure to have you around. Any gut feeling as to whether Robert Fuller's going to be the guy that you're going to be towing up?
You know something, Ted? If I meet him in the finals, or if any of these guys meet him in the finals, but if I meet that guy, whether it be the first draw or the last, Robert Fuller, you're going to be in for the worst night of his wrestling career. I have been around the world many times, and I have been with many, many different competitors. I have wrestled in a lot of different federations, and every time that I went to an organization, I always came home with the bacon. Sometimes it took me a little longer. The guys may be a little bit bigger and a little bit stronger. But what it comes down to in this sport is that if you have that I don't give up attitude, nobody can beat you. And that's what the bottom line is. How strong is your heart for this particular business? And everybody here that I've talked to in that locker room, that's where I'm dressing, has got that positive attitude for that next week big tournament. And like I said, it's probably going to be a gutsy night, but one of us are going to come home with the bacon.
Good luck to you, Ricky. Derrick, good luck to you, my friend. War Eagle, good luck to you. We want to thank everybody who joined us tonight. On behalf of my partner, Gene Ligon, we'd like to say good night to you and tell you that don't forget, next week when we get together, we would have crowned a brand new North American heavyweight wrestling champion. So long, everyone.